in chocolate. You guys all know that. Have you seen cherries dipped in chocolate? I think I might have. What about raspberries? And blueberries. I just dipped everything in chocolate. And down here I have fresh blueberries, raspberries, and this is Jello. Blue raspberry, or is it blue or grape? Wow, that's pretty, like a purplish color. And I've never had this one. Uh-oh. Did it even form? It's a Mexican, I think pudding of some sort. I don't know. I'm not sure. Granny's not too good at memorizing and remembering certain things. And here's a little orange Jello. I put whipped cream on top earlier and it just melted, so I had to, I don't know what it's just gonna do. That's orange Jello. This is rice pudding. And it was white rice pudding, but I added a little, color. Strawberry shortcake. There's one more dessert that I wanted to do. I made one earlier, but I left it in the refrigerator, and the whipped cream, it just melted, so I wanted to make it before your eyes. Hey, semi-healthy, fruity desserts that kids will love, okay? Usually people do this on the 4th of July. What you do is, you get my veiny hands. Of all the places, I want some fat on my hands, but I don't have any here. I just have them in the wrong places. So, you could do any fruit. You could do strawberries, grapes, whatever your child likes. Put some fruit or berries or whatever it is on the bottom. Let me show you here. How's your day going? Put some fruit on bottom, okay? Put a lot of fruit. Hide it from the kids so they think they're getting all whipped cream. Okay. Spray some whipped cream. And then put some raspberries. Kids since time is running, it seems like on Sundays, time runs even faster than normal. So I'm gonna have to put everything aside and do what Granny does on Sundays. Sunday, it's a Sunday, so 빨리 올리고. Hello there. Hey, how does that look? This is my first time with the new camera, and to me, quality is much better than my other videos. I'm really loving it. It's good to invest in a nice phone or a camera. I prefer the phone. That way you could use the phone, take it with you, and you could live stream whenever you want. When I could. But I'm afraid of lives. Eventually I'll do more. So, today is Sunday. Happy Father's Day, everyone. What are you doing? Are you out at the park celebrating? We're not going to that. Oh, restaurants are opening. So are you there? But I'm not going to go there yet. Like, out in the open. But we're doing our best. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are enjoying this, Father's Day. I bet you the whole world never had a Father's Day like this before. It's a first, And I would like to celebrate Father's Day with you by sharing just a little bit about, being a father, being a child, and talking about father's love, why this is special. So what do you remember about those of you that are adults or those of you that are, older children? What's your favorite thing that you think about when you think about your father, your dad? Do you have, most people think, oh, my first bike lesson, or my first ball game, my first baseball game that my dad took me to, or my first swimming lesson. And for girls, your first date when you were 16, the boy comes over and gets really scared of the father, and then the father has that mean look, bring her back home on time, that kind of thing. Koreans would not know this about the dating at 16. 미국에서는요, 16살 되면은 여자아이들이 데이트하는 그 나이예요. 그래서 첫 데이트를 보통 16살 때 하는 막 축하해주는 그런 게 있어요. 그래서 남자아이가 집으로 이제 여자를 데리러 와요. 그러면 아버지가 딱 지켜볼 거야. The dad goes, I'm gonna keep my eyes on you. You better be good to my girl. 첫 데이트를 16세 해요. 미국은 그래요. In Korea, kids, at 16, they're forbidden to date. It's a lot more westernized now, but years ago, and fathers would not bless their daughter going on a date at 16. No, unheard of. Anyway, so, all those good memories that you have of your dad, right? And I just want to speak to fathers. Those of you those fathers that have been doing all the things that I just stated, good for you, because your children need you. Your children need you to be there to let them know that they have dad, they have dad behind them, so nobody better mess with them, that kind of thing. And they can rely on dad to be there, to pick them up when they're down, to pick them up when they're hurt, to celebrate, their milestones and all those good things. It's nice to have. And dad, if you're one of those dads that did that, we congratulate you, and your family loves you. And even though they might show it each time, know that they really appreciate you, and they know that because once you're gone away for a few days or something, that's when they really realize, that they need you. So a father, of course, the birth father, if you fathered a child, you're a father automatically. But the kind of father that I'm going to be talking about is a father who is there for the child, as the child grows and influences that child to grow up to be a strong, kind person, And the father should be the role model the father should be a protector, a provider, and someone that just loves the wife, the kids, just unconditional. And a father should be someone that's there no matter what. No matter what the child does, no matter what the child goes through, the child or the children should know that my dad's got my back. That's the kind of father that all the fathers in the world, want to be. And the father should be an example to his children. But many times, all these good things that I just said, of course, we expect that, and it should be that way. That describes a perfect dad, right? But we're living in this world, and reality is, it's not always that way. There are many fathers that struggle, and maybe growing up they didn't have that father figure. In most cases, that's what I see in the world that I'm living in. I see a lot of that. I encounter so many times. I encounter that all the time, basically. The fathers who can't be the real, father to their children. Maybe something happened in their past, and they just don't know how to behave as a father. But in the Bible, if we look in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4, it says, "Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord." Which means, in order for a father to teach their child, the ways of the Lord, it means that the father has to live in the Lord too, right? He has to be a man of God. If he's not a man of God, he is not able to teach his children the ways of God. And so, the way it should be in the perfect world, in God's eyes, a perfect dad would be someone that loves the Lord, that fears the Lord, and that lives by God's words. And in that way, he can set an example to his children, and then his children learn by the father's actions. What am I saying here? In order to be a perfect dad, you have to know the Lord, because we human beings, we are not strong enough. We are not intelligent enough on our own to make everything right. That's why we have to truly, humbly come before God and say, "God, I need help in this area." And children, I'm talking to grown-up children too, know that your father and mother too, but I'm mostly focusing on, fathers. Parents are not perfect. Fathers are not perfect. And the Bible tells us how our attitude should be regarding our imperfect parents. It says in Ephesians 6:23, which I forgot to write down, but it goes something like this. Honor your mother and father. And I do have it here. A hot moment right there. It says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with the promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth." Ephesians 6 verses 1 through 3. So it doesn't say honor your mother and father only when they're good, only when they provide for you, only when they're perfect. It does not say that. It just says honor your mother and father, because that's the order that God made. God planned it that way. And so even if your parents mess up, and sometimes they do, I mess up, I admit it, but as children we have to honor and respect. I see a lot of kids cursing at their parents, hitting their parents. No. Even if maybe they deserve to be hit, I don't know. Or maybe they deserve to be hated for their actions, I don't know. But as children of your parents, of your dad, you have to honor for the sake of God, because it's God's commandment, so that you could have long life. If you want God to bless you, watch over you and provide for you, take care of you, you have to follow his instructions. I come across many kids that resent their parents because their parents caused them to be in a bad situation. I see that a lot. I mean, that's part of my life. I'm involved in that kind of thing. And the kids have every right to be upset, but at the same time, they have to honor their mother and father. So when I hear kids talking bad about their parents, and I know, their parents might have done something bad and I know about it, but I said, no, your parents, they might have made a mistake, or they're choosing and not doing the right thing even now, but you have to love your parents. You have to honor and love them and show respect to them, because it's God's commandment. If you say you're a Christian and you love God, you have to obey what he says, and that's what God says. Even for the parents that don't deserve all that praise, as children, because we honor God and we fear God and we love God, we have to do what he says. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. It is, because maybe your parents hurt you so bad that your life is all messed up now. But you know what? Your past is in the past. Don't dwell on the past. Let's say your father caused you to be in a big mess right now. You can't control anything that happened in the past. I know it's hard. It's, if you've gone through a lot of pain, I know it's hard. But as children, just trust in God and say, God, I'm upset at my dad, or I'm upset at my mom for doing this, but because you told me to love and honor my mom and dad, I will do that. And then it doesn't mean you have to go and fake love them and, try to get close. No, it's just forgiving and trying to understand, because maybe your parents went through something horrible and they're a byproduct of something that happened to them, right? So God will turn everything that was meant to harm you. He will make everything right, and he will bless you even more if you just trust him now. Just believe me, I'm a living testimony. There are many stories that I could share with you, and I wouldn't be going on video recording things about God if I didn't believe it myself. I won't advertise falsely. I will not. I only speak what I believe is true in my heart. Why was I? So, honor your parents, even though they don't deserve it. Honor them, and God will honor you and bless you. Just try God, believe me. And especially for teenagers, I saw on Facebook today, my daughter, she wrote, Happy Father's Day, and I don't know why, but I'm becoming a crybaby more and more. I can't even read a letter or do anything like that without crying. And I'm tough, right? And so on Facebook she wrote, Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Dad, for all the blah, 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 blah. And she wrote, and thank you. And I remember my college graduation, it was pouring rain. It was pouring rain, not just sprinkling rain. It was pouring. We got soaked like we took a shower. And she was in her gown, and she wrote, I remember, Dad, you didn't want me to get wet, and from the parking area to where the meeting area was, it was very far, and you held out the umbrella and you put it on me, and you were getting drenched, and you just walked me that long distance. And at that time I was being cold and kind of distant to you, but that day I realized that you love me unconditionally and sacrificially. And so at that time she didn't say anything like that, but as time passed, I guess she realized what a true father's heart is. Because parents, when they love their kids, they want to sacrifice. They sacrifice many things for their children. And I hope that young kids realize, understand, and try to remember what your parents did for you, because they would go out of their way to make you happy, to please you. So good job, daughter. So that's, and when parents hear things like that, they don't need gifts. They just want their children to realize, how much love that the parents have for them. So that was very touching. I bet he was touched. I bet my husband was touched. And especially, I want to, what about for the people that don't have dads right now? Father's Day is a painful day for me. Some of you might say that, right? I understand how you feel. I don't have a dad. Or I don't have an earthly dad. I haven't had an earthly dad for how many years? Many years. Since I was 2. My father passed away when I was 2. So I don't have any memories of him tucking me inside my bed. I don't have any memory of him holding me, loving me, taking me anywhere. You know, he was taken too soon. He was only 33. And so I don't have a father figure. I never grew up having a father figure. But does it look like my life is messed up now? Just because you don't have your dad, it doesn't mean your life is over. Look at me. I'm happy. I'm silly. I'm living life, you know? And you know why? Well, you know why that is? It's because I have the one true father. And my mom, you know, taught us that you don't have an earthly father, but you have the greatest father. He's the real deal. You know, all the dads here on earth, they're just like your practice, you know, practice dads. Our true father is in heaven. And he will be there for you. He'll never forsake you. And unlike earthly fathers, he will not make any mistakes. God is perfect. And he knows your every thought, your every emotion, and he knows your heart, what you're going through, all the pain. And I'm sure it's okay to miss your earthly dads. I know that. It's okay. And it's okay if you're not happy for other people. You might feel sad, you know. But know that your Father in heaven, he loves you more than your earthly father could ever love you. Okay. And for all the single moms, I know you have to be the father for the children as well. My mom was both the mom and the dad. She had to discipline us, she had to love us, and she did all that. So on this Father's Day, I would like to congratulate and wish you a happy Mother-Father Day for all the mothers that are struggling, trying to be the dad for your children. You know, a lot of the broken homes, the children from broken homes, you know, where the dad's not there. And it's unfortunate when your dad dies, but when your dad's alive and he doesn't reach out to you, that must even hurt more. You know, so dads out there, if you're living apart from your children and you're alive and well, please reach out to your children. Call them. You don't have to live with them, but be there for them. Take them out, you know, even for a meal or something. It doesn't have to be anything special. Kids, they want time, you know, from you. They want to know that even though you're not in the home, that you still care. So fathers, please don't just be a birth giver. Be a dad to them, even though you're not with the mother, please. Because most of the people that get into crime, you know, they had struggles in their childhood, and they didn't have, you know, the role model, good father figure in their lives, and so they're struggling and they're trying to live their life the best way they know how. So please, I encourage all the fathers to reach out and, you know, make a difference in your child's life, because you can buy them things, you know, send them money and do all that, but what the child really want is time, love, and attention from you. So if it's just that one call, or if it's just that one visit, you know, do it for the sake of your child, because your child could be a ticking bomb once they hit, you know. Look at all the trouble teenagers causing, you know, big problems in the world, you know, and your little kindness may even change that around. So please, fathers, please do that. Am I done? I want to share with you the story of Abraham and Isaac really fast, because Abraham, the old man who you know, later had a son named Isaac, and it's in the Bible, so read it if you want to know the story, or go to YouTube. They have many cartoon stories too, children's stories. So Abraham, he had a son when he was 100 years old, and Isaac was his son. He was a teenager at the time, and God tested Abraham, because Abraham loved, you know, imagine you're old and you get a son. How precious is that? So God tested Abraham. He said, Abraham, I want you to take your son, take him to the mountain and sacrifice him for me. I want you to kill him, cut him open, burn him, and offer him up to me. What kind of father would agree to God? Okay, God, I'll just take my son, kill him, and give him to you. Nobody would do that. Nobody in their right minds. But Abraham, he knew from day one that God was the God that gave Isaac to him. So he had faith in his heart. Okay, I'm going to obey God because the Lord is asking me of this. But I know that God's going to do something so that my son will not die. Either that, or I know that I'm in God's hands. So even if I do kill my son and offer him up as a sacrifice, I know that God will raise him from the dead. I just believe in God that he's not going to give pain to me. I just know that in his mind, he took his son, a teenager boy. Come on, son, let's go. We're going to offer up a sacrifice up in the mountain. And the son, at that time, a teenager, he could have said, oh, Dad, no, I don't want to go up there. But Isaac, he was the perfect son. He agreed. He didn't ask any questions. And while they were going up the mountain, they need an animal to give sacrifice to God, right? Isaac, he asked his dad, but where's the animal that we're going to cut open and burn up to God? Abraham says, the Lord will provide. And in his mind, he's like, son, I got to kill you. And he's just going up the mountain, right? Maybe Isaac knew. Maybe he thought, oh, is this my last day? He could have just took off, right? Once he realized that, he could have just taken off. Or when Abraham, lay down, son, and he laid him down, Isaac could have said, oh, Dad, you're not going to kill me? He could have gotten up and, struggled with his dad. He just laid down. He was, come on, son, lay down. We're going to sacrifice to God, okay? He just laid down. And he tied him up. Isaac didn't struggle, obviously. And then Abraham gets the knife or whatever, weapon he's going to stab his son with. He's about to do this. And then the Lord calls out, Abraham, stop. I tested you and you have passed my test. Don't kill your son. Basically he's saying, I wanted to know if you're going to love your son who you adore more than me. God wants us to love God first because he is our creator, our maker, And he wanted to test Abraham. And Abraham, he passed with flying colors. And Isaac, okay. Isaac passed the test too. He could have gotten up. Once he caught on to, he's going to kill me, my dad's going to kill me, he could have fought his dad. But they both passed the test. And as believers, that's the kind of faith we should have. We have to work toward that. I'm thinking, am I able to kill my own son? I don't think he'll let me, but am I able to kill? I don't know if I could do that. But Abraham, his one and only son who he got from God when he was so old, he was just willing to, okay, son, I'm gonna have to kill. He was willing to do that. And so right at that moment, they hear a ram, an animal cut in the thistle. So they got that, killed it, burned it, and gave an offering to God. That's how God provides. So when you're going through hardships in life, think of it as a test. And God has a big blessing behind him. And he's saying, okay, I want to see how much you love me. So we should all strive to pass the test, And if you follow like the father Abraham, he was he's the father of all, right? Father Abraham, he was such a big, father of faith because he trusted God. He put God first in his life. And it's not that he was a perfect father either. He made mistakes. If you read the Bible, you'll know that Abraham made mistakes too. But he trusted God. And Isaac saw his dad trusting God. And Isaac trusted his father, the father that trusted the big father, right? So it goes on and on. So fathers, be a good example. Fear God, love him, follow him, and your son, your daughter, they will follow your footsteps. Children will not listen to what we say. They don't. And I've lived through many of those. They will listen to how you live your life. So just follow God, be a good example, be a good role model for your children, and they will follow your ways. And in that way, you can have the same relationship that Abraham, Isaac had in God. You can have that same thing too. Okay? Okay, so happy Father's Day. Is that too much pressure on your fathers? Just take it one day at a time. Just one day at a time. If you spend maybe 1 hour with your children a day, spend 1.5. If you spend 2 hours, 2.5, just little things. Kids don't usually require big, expensive things. You can give time. You can do many fun activities without costing you a dime. So invest in your children because you don't want them to turn out, getting into the wrong things and messing up their lives. And imagine they have kids, they have no role model to follow, mimic, and then they grow up and they don't know how to behave. So then their children, and it's It's an unending cycle, and we have to break that cycle. Amen. Amen. Okay. So, because of all the things we're going through, many people are in fear. They're nervous and anxious. And for those of you who are going through that, I'm going to just play a song today. It's called A Wonderful Peace. I want the peace of Jesus to come upon your hearts, okay, so that you may live your life victoriously with peace, confidence, and joy that only Jesus can give you, okay? It's called Wonderful Peace. It's a hymn. And all these songs, look it up on YouTube. I mean, you'll be blessed, okay? The title is A Wonderful Peace. It has 3 verses. I'm just going to play one, but I wanted to read all 3 verses because it's so comforting. The first verse goes, "Far away in the depths of my spirit tonight rolls a melody sweeter than psalm. In celestial strains it unceasingly falls o'er my soul like an infinite calm." And then the chorus goes, "Peace, peace, wonderful peace, coming down from the Father above. Sweep over my spirit forever, I pray, in fathomless billows of love." The second verse is, "I am resting tonight in the wonderful peace, resting sweetly in Jesus' control. For I'm kept from all danger, but night and by day, and His glory is flooding my soul." And then the chorus part, "Ah, soul, are you here without comfort or rest, marching down the rough pathway of life? Make Jesus your friend ere the shadows grow dark. Oh, accept this sweet peace so sublime." And then peace, peace, wonderful peace. I will play that for you and we will finish. I-42. But you know what? You're in control of my videos. If you want them long, watch till the end. But if you want them short, just stop whenever you want. But I wish you would stay till the end. If you know this, sing it. May the peace of God fill your heart, okay? Be confident in God. Trust in God. Trust in God, and He will not disappoint you, okay? God bless you. Peace in your heart. May God's peace, may Jesus' peace fill your heart today and live in joy and victory, okay? Oh, not